Well, hey guys, how's it going? My name is Art and welcome to a different kind of video today. Last week, Thursday, I was sitting at work doing my usual things, and then my best friend texted me. He goes, "Oh, do you know what? Did you hear about it?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? Hear about what?" And he goes, "Oh my God, I can't believe it." I was like, "What do you mean? What's going on?" He goes, "Hulk Hogan died." I'm like, "Seriously?" He goes, "Yeah." So what happened was, took a quick break from my job, scrolled the socials, and boom, TMZ. And usually when TMZ post that, I was like, "Wow, it is legit." Wow. Guy was 71 years old. Interesting. Now, I want to show you something. I showed you this a long time ago, but let me show you, because this feels appropriate. This is the Hulk Hogan set that came out sometime last year, which shows you three, technically, generations of Hulk Hogan. One in the 80s, the 90s, and like the 2000s era. You can see it right there. Target is putting out, they put out this version again, but it was signed by Hulk Hogan, and those sold out very quickly before all this happened. Now, a lot of people have bad feelings about Hulk Hogan. They do. And technically, they have every right to have those kind of feelings. They do. Me, not so much, because I know the history of sorts of Hulk Hogan. That's why I was kind of like ambivalent about the whole scenario. And sometimes me and my friends talk about it. So let me explain some things to you. Yes, he's from, I think, California or Florida, wherever. It doesn't matter. One day he went to a wrestling show and saw this guy called Superstar Billy Graham. So impressed by him that he started acting like Superstar Billy Graham. So he started, in Superstar Billy Graham, he didn't really like it too much, but it is what it is, wrestling. He went to many different promotions, the AWA, went to Japan for a hot second. And Vince McMahon came calling and said, "Hey, we want you." He went to Virginia, was it Virginia or something? I forgot. And they said, "Nope." He goes, "Sorry, can't make it." Went to WWE. What happened is, a lot of people say Hulk Hogan revolutionized wrestling, and the thing is, yes, he did, but it was also partly Vince McMahon. During that time, Vince McMahon, when he hires you, he comes up with the character, then he explains the character to you, and then you take it from there. Now, of course, I created Hulkamania. And to tell you the truth, in a sense, he played the part very well. In the 80s, when I was watching, I wasn't really watching wrestling until Hulkamania. Oh my gosh, he's with Mr. T. I love Mr. T. Oh my gosh, and I had to watch it. Why? Because he was teaming up with Mr. T. I was like, ooh, I pity the fool. I was like, oh man, this is awesome. Then I started watching whenever I could, but back in the 80s, sometimes you can watch stuff, sometimes you can't. Then again, there was technically one TV in the house, so if my dad said, "I want to watch this," you can't do nothing. If the TV was free and something like that was on, you watched it. And then, and I was a big Hulk Hogan fan until I saw The Undertaker for the first time. And I was like, "Hulk who?" But still, I still respected Hulk Hogan. Now, mind you, a lot of people don't like Hulk Hogan because, especially if you're wrestling fans, because you learn about the stuff that he was doing behind the scenes. Yes, he was in movies. He did TV shows. He did the whole 9 yards like that. He was in entertainment. He did his own reality show. I mean, did I watch it? No. I thought it was silly. But because it's like, this is not how they live. They glam it up a bit. But this is a vehicle for him to get his family famous. So be it. So that they can branch off on their own things. So be it. He has plans, he has ideas, and whatever. But like I said, Hulk Hogan is the pinnacle of WWE. He joined WCW. WCW became famous. Then the story arc when he created the NWO with Hall and Nash, that threw it. At first he was thinking about, nope, let's kibosh this because I'm a good guy. But when he played that bad guy and he played it so well, it just stuck. Everybody was like NWO for life. So was I. Because Hulk Hogan was there. Hulk Hogan is, I want to say, if I had my Rushmore of, people say, who's your Mount Rushmore? Hulk Hogan is going to be like number 2 or 3. Always. Because that's what I grew up on. Now, here's the thing. He, like I said, sometimes he had a bad reputation. See, his friends benefited, his detractors didn't get much. There was a guy named Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Technically rode Hogan's coattails, became a big success, but not the kind of success that he wanted. And then when him and him fall apart, he was gone, technically. No one wanted him. A lot of people hired Hogan's buddies, and sometimes they worked out, sometimes they didn't. Because he had that kind of power. I'll tell you a quick story. I forgot which WrestleMania, maybe WrestleMania 7? It's funny because when I was convalescing from my shoulder injury, which still working on it, still working on rehab, I just said, since I'm going to be gone for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, I'm going to watch every WrestleMania from 1 to 42. I haven't even got done with 20. I just got done with 23. And that was in April. I got burnt out. So what happened was this one guy named Bret Hart, who was a phenomenal wrestler, was fighting against Yokozuna, which is another phenomenal wrestler, sumo-style wrestler. And Yokozuna was going to win the championship. Hulk Hogan looks up and goes, no, brother. The bad guys can't win the championship at WrestleMania. Went to Vince. At the last minute, changed the whole finish to where Yokozuna wouldn't get the title. Because Hulk Hogan said so. Hulk Hogan comes out, does the leg drop, boom, wins the title. Those kind of antics is what got a lot of, that's what they call heat. But you can't really say it, you can't really bring it up because Hogan's the big dude, the big dog. He's the big man, the big plan. Okay? And when he was doing stuff like that, he changed a lot of things. Like, no, that ain't gonna work for me. And it never gets done. You have the best laid plans for somebody. He just comes up, nope. Done. Now, mind you, back in the day, there was 2 wrestlers called Coco Beware and Junkyard Dog. They wasn't getting enough shine in the WWE back then. Hulk stepped in. Now, I will tell you something. Hulk Hogan's from that era. He's from that era where Segregation, civil rights. Okay, little man's up and he's cranky. Okay. That means I gotta finish this up soon. Just in case. He stepped in, did some stuff with them, and they became more famous. He helped out whoever if you were a good friend of him, he helped you out, no matter what the color was. WCW, they was talking about having Booker T win the championship. They was him and Han, and Hogan stepped in and said, yeah, he should win the championship, and boom, Booker T wins the championship. So he helped a lot, and all those people were the same ethnic as me. The same ethnic as me. Let's try not to be very racial, so that way YouTube will not, I'm not monetized anyway, but just to get the idea. But the thing is that, but in his personal life, it's a totally different matter. His daughter said he was a nightmare to be with. He did all this. I'm like, okay, that's normal. Some people cannot separate the man from his art. Okay? Some people can't. I can, some people cannot. And I understand, and I completely understand that. Problem is, Hulk Hogan was a kind of a weird dude. Well, you gotta be, if you want to be a wrestler, you gotta be weird in the first place. But I mean, his way of thinking was totally off. Thing is, if you see his earlier talks and promos, if you didn't know who Hulk Hogan was, you would think he was something else. I don't know. Here's the funny thing is that if I didn't know who Hulk Hogan was, I'll say, "Whoa, who's that brother? Well, that brother's good." That's what I would think. But then again, that's how my way of thinking is. Doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just the way how it is. But as you can see, as time goes on, it's that certain things about the man came about. In some ways, he did certain things that kind of makes you go, "This ain't Hulk Hogan." But then again, he's Hulk Hogan when he's on stage. Off stage, he's totally different. Allegedly his son was in a car accident and his best friend was killed through the car accident. And allegedly he didn't show any remorse for the son's friend. Allegedly, I wasn't there, I just heard about it. But I was like, in a way, I said, I can understand you care more about your son than someone else, but damn, that's kind of messed up. Allegedly, his daughter was dating a person like me. But she was, really. And he said some stuff, which you heard. It was recorded, and you heard about it. A lot of people complained. I mean, one of my friends, we talked about this months ago, and I go, "Dude, he's from that time period." He goes, "But my parents," I was like, "Your parents is different." And he had to sit back and say, "Yeah, you're kind of right. You're kind of right, because think about it. Back then, a lot of people who are not like my ethnicity, if their daughter or son came with someone of my ethnicity, it's like, guess who's coming to dinner?" That kind of scenario. Okay? And that's how it was. But then, of course, one of the things I learned in my talks with a lot of different people, my conservative friends, always say celebrities should never say their political opinion, because it divides their fan base. Taylor Swift says, "Go out and vote because you got to vote." Millions of people vote. "Oh, you can't. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong." Average liberal superstar says something. Well, or even Pedro Pascal talks about his daughter, not his daughter, his sister. oh, you shouldn't say that stuff because it divides your fan base. Hulk Hogan goes to the National Republican National Convention. I'm MAGA. Crickets. Did you hear that? Crickets. And I was sitting there waiting for someone to say something. Sitting there for something to say something. Sitting there waiting for someone to say something. So in my group, I says, wow. It's funny how all you conservatives complain about people saying their politics, celebrities saying their politics. But last night, the immortal Hulk Hogan says he's a Republican and he supports President Trump. And not one of you publicly decried that. Because it splits the fan base. In the group I'm in, when I did that, I could tell people wanted to say something. But they kept quiet. And then one of them says to me, he goes, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. You called us out. And we couldn't say a damn word. You called us out. You couldn't say a damn word. Even though you say that anybody can say their political opinion, even if they have a platform, I say, look at Joe Rogan. He has a platform. He says I'm this. This person, big platform. But then they are influencers are celebrities of sorts. But that's okay. Boom. And they kept quiet about that for a long time. And then after that, then one person said, well, he is endorsing the right candidate. I said, but still, he's dividing the fan base, like you said. Yeah, you're right. He is dividing the fan base, but it's not an if for buts. You said they shouldn't do it. So I don't see you I don't see you here publicly flaming Hogan for it. Or going into the actual, see, there's a private chat, which I did that on, and there's the group chat, and there's the Facebook chat, which I'm on. None of you said nothing. But that's okay. But, they said, Art, we respect you. Even though you're one of the very few people who are not conservative, we still respect you. And you called us out, and you got us. One of the times I got them. But that's okay. I still love them. I said, look, I still love you guys. But the thing is, if you want to say something about this, you want to say something about Taylor Swift, say something about Hogan. Or retract, or publicly say, you know what, I should never said about Taylor Swift or whatever. Whatever. But that's okay. That's okay. But the funny thing is that, Netflix, Monday Night Raw went to Netflix and he showed them, people was booing him. And people said, oh, because he was in Hollywood at that time. No, it's not that. It's not because of that. It's because people are learning about how much of a scumbag he was to a sort behind the scenes. And everybody's like, yeah, you're kind of right. Yeah, he is kind of foul for doing this stuff, and he never apologized. But then again, he got religion, supposedly got his life right, whatever. I hope so, and that's how it is. Last year, he was doing a signing and taking pictures for his new Real American beer. I couldn't get the time off of work to go there, so my friend got me a case of his beer with his signature on it, so that's cool. I never got a chance to meet him, even though I want to, but hey, oh well, it happens. It's not crying over spilled milk. But in a sense, to me, regardless of the man behind him, Terry Bollea, I'm still a Hulk Hogan fan. Okay? I still am. Oh yeah, I did open this. Yes, I sure did. I don't remember opening it. Yeah, I did open it. It's not sealed, but it's fun. I got it. But anyway, that's my thoughts on Hulk Hogan. Is that I like He entertained me for years, and every now and then I'll watch one of the matches he's in, and I'm still entertained. I do remember his show Thunder in Paradise, which I loved, if I get a chance to watch it, I'll watch it again. Any movie that he was in, I'll watch it with no problem. I have no problems against that. To me, he's an entertainer. So, even though the man is troubled, I get that. I'm not going to hold that against him, because we all live in people. But I'm still a big fan of Hulk Hogan, and hey, if you're a fan of somebody or something, don't let their personal tragedies or personal issues get in the way of loving the art that they create. That's basically the bottom line. Wow, that's a lot to unpack. And if I understand this correctly, this will be the last video of July. Just want to say thank you very much for this insane ride this month, and let me know what you guys think. Talk to you guys later.